Was the worst year for a lot of us for our mental as well as physical health. So joining us this morning is best-selling author, coach, and fitness expert Lisa Goldenthal.
Hello and welcome. I'm Lisa G, your host. You're at the top of your game, yet the game is changing faster than ever. Strategies that got you here aren't the ones that'll keep you here. The pressure is relentless, and the fear of obsolescence looms large. That's why I'm here. Welcome to the new podcast series, Disrupted: How to Be Gritty and Unlock Performance. This is your chance where I sit down with today's tops in business, mindset, wellness, and success to help you master disruption and thrive.
Thanks for coming, and I'll see you soon.
A California native, his life took an unexpected turn when a stroke sidelined his promising football career. Demonstrating remarkable resilience, he pivoted to financial advising, leveraging his experience to become a top advisor. Now he empowers clients on their financial journeys, guiding them towards security and success. I am so excited to welcome to the podcast Stephen Peterson. Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy to have this conversation. I love your story. I love talk about grit and resilience on the show and inspire others to do the same in business in the last 4 years and forever. It's required. So why don't we just jump in a little bit with your story, from the football field to the financial world. What did you learn about resilience after your stroke that you now apply to your success?
It's a really good question. What I learned about resilience after my stroke was, it was honestly too, prior to my stroke, I had a lot of injuries in football.
Right.
Tore my labrum. I tore my epicondyle, which is on your elbow. And I just constantly was plagued with injuries in my sports career. But what I learned from that was just to never give up. Stay true to your vision and belief in yourself, regardless of the adversity that's in front of you. And then I had my stroke. And when I had my stroke, I was told that I'll never walk normally because I was paralyzed and blind on my left side. And I was told that I'll never walk or see normally, again. And I kept telling myself, like, and this is crazy. I know it sounds wild because I had a right basal ganglia stroke. I had to get patent foramen ovale surgery, which means they closed the hole between the chambers of my heart. And I'm kind of hard-headed and stubborn. And so what I believed to be true was that I was gonna walk and talk and see normally again. And even though I was told by the physicians that I wouldn't, I just continued to pray and continued to almost like force myself mentally to get there and like tell my subconscious that I would get there. I would get there. I would get there. I read a book from Teddy Bruschi called Never Give Up. He was a stroke survivor too, and that gave me a lot of hope. And I one day woke up, I could see again. I had to, get my arm right and the rehabilitation on my left side to be spot on. But, I just continued to work through the adversity that was in front of me. And honestly, like I'm so grateful for that, even though I lost my ability to play football. Going through the challenges I did in sports and my stroke, has taught me that if I continue to win the battle in my brain, then I'll be able to execute in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like the battle is up top. And if most people don't recognize that, there's 60,000 thoughts in a day. So if you don't catch those thoughts and like change the narrative up top, like you're going to be susceptible to believing those thoughts. And I've always worked to win the battle in my brain. So resilience, it just kind of boils back down to it's the the battle is in my brain. So if I can beat the battle up top and continue to feed myself positive quotes from people I look up to, such as Kobe Bryant or Tom Brady or um, Warren Buffett, right? Like there's so many people my dad, the people I look up to the most.
Yeah.
I just try to fill myself with positivity and I try to get my subconscious to work for me so then I can visualize what's going to happen in the future and I start to believe it up here and then it almost like manifests.
Yeah, that's powerful stuff. I believe all of this stuff. I believe as an entrepreneur myself that it is a mindset game. And I wanted to have this conversation with you because you achieved top of the table twice. What's one key strategy you use to build trust and lasting relationships with your clients?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I think for me, I'm in this business to help people, like to be a trusted person and a trusted advisor. And so I think the process that I have at my firm, Elevate Financial Partners,
Yeah,
is very client centric. It's not about me. I'm a vessel to help them accomplish their goals. So I just try to make it really clear that like whatever the client does, like I have an unbiased recommendation, and I'm here to help them get from point A to point B in the most efficient and effective manner. And honestly, like I think that comes across. I'm very genuine. I care a lot about people. And I genuinely believe that I am here on earth today to impact people in a positive way. Because after my stroke, I had a very dark time in my life.
right.
I felt like I lost my identity, to be honest with you, without playing football. And I kind
Yeah,
of went down a pretty gnarly path.
right.
Today, I'm completely different, but I'll have 12 months sober in August 5th is
12
2012.
years.
Yeah. So
Incredible.
it is. So to answer your question, my business is all about helping people, and I believe that God has me on earth to help people, whether it be personally, professionally, or whatever it is. Like I believe I'm here to help people.
Well, that kind of authenticity is what really resonated with me when I first met you. I was like, there's something about you that you can't fake authenticity, and you can't fake if you're just hanging on for the deal, if you're trying to close a deal rather than being service based, where you actually want the best for the person. And what if what you want for them that will benefit you monetarily isn't the right thing for them? What they will remember, I'm pretty sure, is that you're a good person for the next time, because it's just those relationships that you build, right?
For sure. I couldn't agree more.
And you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So how does that motto inspire you to help your clients overcome challenges and achieve their financial goals in these disruptive times we're all living through?
Yeah. Well, that's definitely my favorite quote, by the way. I think that people are oftentimes fearful to be authentic and genuine and to speak their mind in a polite way.
Right.
And so, I think I've done well in business because I do believe in that. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I tend to, if I think it in a polite way, of course, like I'm gonna let the client know that. And so like I'm more of an advocate because I'll tell you I'm not afraid that someone's going to get concerned or fearful. My job is to advise them. So
Yeah.
I believe that it's my duty to be a good advisor, to say the things that maybe other people won't because they're timid. You know what I mean? Because I genuinely do believe you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if I meet someone, I'm going to ask them, if they're interested in meeting with me professionally, because I believe it's my duty to help them.
That's such a great way to look at sales as service that way, where you're not looking at it like, oh my God, I have to sell my product. You're like, oh my God, if they don't buy my product, they're going to suffer. So I really love the fact that you focus on the mindset, the resilience and grit that you've overcome, like myself, plenty of times, lots of bumps in the road. Success has never been for me either, like any straight shot. And I rarely meet any successful people where that has been the case. It's like we all fall down. It's like Muhammad Ali, knocked down 7 times, get up 8, or the Mamba mentality with Kobe. So getting back to our earlier part of the conversation on mindset, what tips do you have for our audience about how can we be unstoppable in life with all of the disruptions going on and get to that kind of a mindset?
That's a really good question. By the way, Mamba mentality. I don't know if you see me, but
You
Kobe
have
Bryant.
that? I was just
Well,
thinking
yeah,
it in my
that's
head
Kobe
because you
Bryant.
said Kobe because I was so sad when he died. I was living down in LA at the time. It was just
Me
devastating.
too. I was so sad. I was devastated. In fact, one of my quotes written on my board here is it says Mamba mentality. It says, if you see me in a fight with a bear, pray for the bear. I don't
Yay!
quit. I don't quit. I don't cower. I don't run from challenges. I don't run from adversity. I endure and I conquer. That's Kobe Bryant.
That's so
So
inspiring.
it is. It is. What I do, I got a lot of these tips and tricks from kind of like all over, honestly. Like just like you, I've had so many downs. I've had ups, but I've had a lot of downs.
Yeah.
And I really believe in it, like the attitude, right? It's not about what happens to you, it's about what your attitude is and how you handle it. So I really believe in that mantra. Like when you fall down, you got to get right back up and you got to almost like hit delete and kind of take a step forward. So my routine's pretty intense, to be honest, but it works for me. And so like in the morning, I'm a big believer in my higher power, in God, right? So like I pray in the
Right.
morning. I pray on my knees, just for humility, quite frankly. And then I meditate. I really love meditation. It quiets my head. It's really important for me to meditate in the morning so I can feel like, I'm like serene. I have as much serenity as possible. And then when I go into my day, prior to that, I'll journal. And when I journal, I make it almost like I'm gonna write down my feelings, like how I feel about today. And then I make like a to-do list, like how I'm gonna win the day. Like what's my goal for the day? I may have 3 things, I may have 5 things, I may have 1 thing. And then I like to also write down what's my act of service gonna be for the day. Like that has nothing to do with work. Like what am I gonna do that's good for someone else today? That's not me. So I can get out of self and focus on other people and helping them. And then when I'm done with the day, I like to read, whatever book it is that I'm reading at the time. But one of the most powerful books that I've read it's called The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. It's probably one of the most powerful books ever. I think it's incredible because it's all about getting your subconscious to work for you and
Yes.
to basically rewire your brain. With positive things, right? Positive thinking things. And then at night I'll read, and I like to read a lot out of that book. And then I make an inventory of my day, believe it or not. And then I'll journal again. But the inventory of my day is oftentimes about, what resentments did I have today? What was my part in that resentment? What were my fears for the day? What were my harms to other people for the day? How did I win the day? What could I do better tomorrow that I didn't do today? Right. So I'm constantly I'm always trying to work at me to get better.
I love that. I feel like that's like a billionaire morning routine and a billionaire evening routine.
I also lift. I like to work out. It's important for me.
Awesome. I feel like all of the things you're doing are the reason why you're successful today. So based on all of the things that you've been through and all the upward trajectory of where you're going now, do you have any final thoughts for our audience on being unstoppable in disruptive times?
I think it's being unstoppable in disruptive times. I mean, I think the world's crazy today, honestly. I think there's a lot going on. So I think it's important for us as people to, I think, having a vision. I always tell this to people on my team. I think if you can have a vision, whether it's personal, professional, or financial, or all the above, I think you need to connect your heart, your emotion with your logic, with your vision. And I think if your vision is powerful enough, you'll be able to do that, connect the logic to the heart. And if you have that, then you can put your blinders on, and then you can almost like tune out the external world, and you can focus on what am I trying to accomplish and what do I need to do that, whether it's personal, professional, financial, whatever it is, all the above, spiritual, right? Like it's physical, it can be all the above. And and then you kind of are on your own journey. And I think it's really important to not compare yourself to other people, especially with social media. That's a big thing. You get on social media. I don't have it anymore, but you get on social media. Oftentimes I used to compare myself to other people and feel like I'm not good enough. Right. So I just decided I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to focus on me, and I'm going to focus on my blinders. And I'm going to get better and focus on Stephen and other people and be of service, right? All those things that I mentioned. I think that's how you kind of dominate you. I think it's not, don't worry about other people. You can't, because if I worried about other people in my past, I wouldn't be here today. There's no way, because I went through so much adversity in the past that if I allowed that to get in my way and block me, I would have eaten myself alive, because I was behind. I had to get sober at 23. That's not because I was winning at life.
Right.
So for me, how to dominate in a crazy world, it's just focus on you and be of service to other people, and put the blinders on, and like make a vision. I think it's important for us to make visions, write it down, or a vision board even. I think that stuff's so critical and crucial. I don't think people do that enough.
I love the focus on vision. I love the focus on not worrying about what other people, because everyone's putting out their A reel over there on
So true.
social media. I've been guilty of doing it myself, pick up the phone, take a video, and then you go back to like reality.
For sure.
It's never as airbrushed as an Instagram filter in real life. So I love the focus on being heart-centered, because that's such a hard thing to do in your financial world, where everything is so cerebral and you're always like numbers and focus on the KPIs and hitting your target. So I love that you focus on service and leading with your heart. It's so wonderful to have this conversation. Stephen J Peterson, where can people find you?
They can find me on our website, www.elevatefinsvcs.com, or on Google, Elevate Financial Partners, or on LinkedIn. My name's Stephen Peterson. I think it's Stephen J Peterson on LinkedIn. My email, right? sjp@efinsvcs.com. Those are probably the best ways.
Wonderful. Well, I know we connected on LinkedIn. I want all of you guys to follow Stephen. He is a wonderful financial services leader. Thanks for being a great guest on WholeCEO with Lisa G.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me.